My full name is Dr. Saeed Aziz Pasha.
Where were you born and what the date?
Well, I was born in Madras, India, over 65 years ago. I came to the United Kingdom in 1965. I was newly arrived, and then I got a flat in in this Kensington area in 1967. I was living in Stafford Terrace here. And for 2 years I was there, for 3 years, and then I had to go to Hajj, to pilgrimage. After we returned from Hajj, the flat was gone, so I had to find temporary accommodation in different locations in the Ealing. And then I came back to Kensington, 1971. I was living in Cladricard Gardens here. I had a flat there. I lived there for nearly 25 years. And then we got this building, this office building, in 1980. Even when we got this building, I was still staying in my flat. But afterwards, in 1999, I sold my flat and then I moved another location. But the office is here since 1980.
Tell me about when you first came. What were the impressions you had of this country?
Well, this country, I heard a lot because this is sort of mother of democracies, and I used to think the parliament here is a really democratic institution, and the people are friendly. So really they were. But there was a good deal of racial discrimination and racial hatred. I saw the black people, particularly the West Indians, they were suffering so much. But when I came, we also suffered discrimination. I never knew about this. And gradually I tried to overcome, but in question of jobs, I came to work as a lecturer in University of Oxford. There was no question of getting into Oxford. Even other institutions, they don't want to take me because I suffered double discrimination. One, because I'm a Muslim. Second, because I'm an Indian. Third, because I'm American educated. So gradually I tried to overcome. But then the Islamic Cultural Center at Regent Park, the director of the Islamic Center, he knows me because he was in Washington when I was a student in America. So he told me, I have done some work for organizing the Muslim community in America, so I can use my expertise to bring about the same sort of organization in this country. So alhamdulillah, they gave me an office in the Islamic Center and we convened an ad hoc committee to call a conference. The first conference was called in 1970. The ad hoc committee was formed in 1969. I was chosen as the secretary of this committee. And then we called a national conference for all the Muslim organizations in 1970. So alhamdulillah, since then, we started with 35 Muslim organizations initially. Now alhamdulillah, we have got 215 members from all over the country. So we are the oldest representative body of the Muslim community in this country.
Why did you decide to form a Muslim organization in Britain? What was the reason?
As a Muslim community, we have certain requirements. For example, we have to make prayers 5 times a day. The employers won't allow it. The employers will say, well, look, You are part of Britain now. Forget about your religion. You cannot disrupt the work. I said, look, we are not disrupting the work. We are asking a small break from the work. So gradually we got that. When we formed UMO, 1970, the Muslims were afraid to call their names by their Muslim names. For example, Samiuddin, he will say Sam. If he says Samiuddin, he gets no job. Job discrimination. If he says Sam, oh yes, you are welcome. So now we said, that's not on, because you are a democracy. No longer it is a Christian country. It is a multi-religious, multicultural country. Because we have got Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam. There are 6, 7 faiths. They have equal rights.
I mean, when you came to Kensington,
Yeah.
just tell us about that experience of initially,
Initially.
what it was like in terms of your food, your entertainment, whatever you did.
Well, Kensington I like mostly because it's for security. Compared to other boroughs, the record of crime in this borough is much less. And secondly, there are so many Muslims living nearby in Shepherd Bush, in Acton, and even in the Ladbroke Grove. A Moroccan community is there.
What did you eat? I mean, there was not that many halal butchers and all that, so how did you?
No, there was a halal butcher in Drummond Street. I used to go to Drummond Street. There was a halal butcher even then. When I came to 1965, I think you heard near Euston, Drummond Street, some Bengali grocers, they sell halal meat. So if I want to buy meat, I go there. So there was no problem.
The problem was you have to go all the way there. Now you can buy it next door.
Even now it's not next door. It's not so easy. I have to go to what do you call Westbourne Grove. It's a little closer than Euston, but still I have to. This borough itself, I can say, it is not completely all the facilities for Muslims. You have got to go around to shop in Ladbroke Grove or Westbourne Grove.
So, so you lived in which place did you live in very first?
As I
time?
said, I came to Stafford Terrace in this borough, Kensington, 1967. And then after my return from Hajj, I went to different locations and I came back to Kensington in 1971. I lived in a flat in Clanricarde Gardens for 25 years. But we bought this building in 1980. It was a residence. It was like a house. We had to get planning permission from the council to convert it into a commercial property. Otherwise, we can't have offices. So, Alhamdulillah, the council was a little cooperative. They came and assessed. And they said there should not be too much noise here because they were afraid. If you have a mosque, people will come and make noise for the other residents. I said, no, this is mostly an office. We have got a prayer room. Whoever comes to meet me, we have got a meeting like you, and the time for prayer comes, we go down to the prayer. We make no nuisance to anybody. And secondly, you can stay around here, a few shops. Next door is a restaurant, and we are close by. So it was not that difficult to get planning permission. But then, we have problem of security now, because of the recent developments, maybe. We had a burglary here. We had a burglary in I think 4 years ago. And the council was very cooperative because I am a member of the community police committee. I am a member. So I raised the issue and the man came and they helped us to, even financially, they made a 50% contribution for repairing the damage done.
Okay. Now, what difference do you think? What things have changed since 11 September and 7/7? You know, the bombing in London.
Yeah.
Impact on Muslim community in this borough.
In this borough, you cannot say there was any substantial impact. The impact was of the other areas, East London, north in Birmingham, in Manchester, but in this borough there was not too much problem. But anyhow, the Bishop of Kensington, he offered his support to us. He said, don't worry, if anything happens, we'll come and... But I think the squatters who came here, that is a result of Islamophobia. That only 3 months ago, this building was occupied by squatters. And I went to the council was not very cooperative. I don't know why. Previously they were very cooperative, and the police refused to eject them. I said, look, they have got squatters have their rights. What rights they have? We are the owners that they have broken. It's a criminal offence. So anyhow, we have incurred heavy losses, and even now we are paying 24-hour security. We have got people here, and council doesn't help.
Do you think that's the result of Islamophobia, or just...
Maybe because you see all the rooms were full of beer bottles. And then they know in Islam we don't drink. They desecrated the whole building. The prayer room full of beer bottles. Holy Quran, one copy near the toilet. So they were deliberately doing against Islam. I have a feeling, I don't know, I'm going to write to the Home Secretary to find out more about it.
I just wanted an overview of Muslims in this borough. How long was in your experience?
Well, as I told you, the number of Muslims in this borough is growing. When I came, the number was very, very small. Now the good deal of immigrants from Morocco, from Bangladesh, and Arab countries particularly. You can see the number has increased because they find there are some facilities which are not available in other boroughs. And also there is a Muslim Cultural Heritage Center here, which is a very big institution supported by the council, and I was a trustee at the beginning and now I left it. So there are some institutions like UMO, we are in this borough. So that attracts the Muslim community. Mostly you see Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, because of the previous connection. Nigerians, also a British colony. So these countries, they have, a lot of people have arrived here, and they are now recognized as part and parcel of the British society, and they are recognized as British citizens, and I won't say they have got completely equal rights, but there are many institutions, organizations, particularly our organization has been fighting for equality. We don't want a preferential treatment.
But there are some negative qualities also, intolerance, extremism, that is associated with
that
this.
is very with a minority of people. You can see extremism or whatever you say. Very few people who are like this. Maybe majority of Muslims, they are peace-loving, law-abiding citizens.
For somebody who is growing up as a young Muslim and people who are here, a lot of them feel very alienated from this society. So what would you say?
Well, they feel alienated because they are living in certain areas where there is a great deal of Islamophobia. They should mix. Now, for example, the mayor of London, Boris Johnson, he advised, he went to the East London Mosque and he break his fast in Ramadan. And he said, if you want to gain insight of the Islamic faith, each British person must fast and go to a mosque to break the fast with the Muslims. Then you identify yourself as a part of multi-religious British society. You show mutual respect. You show respect to others, they show respect to you. There is no need for confrontation. There is no need for clashes. There is a need for dialogue, interfaith dialogue in Kensington. I am a member of that one. We have people of different faiths who are living in this borough. They discuss issues of common concern, of how to bring about peace and happiness to the entire community.